When I dropped each of our children off at college on their first day, I gave them each a card, and I walked with them and talked about the things that were important in life and things that they should possibly consider. Ty was our third child, and this was when he started college, which turns out to be 13 years ago. And in the book, Financial Freedom for the Average Person, I have these listed. What I've done here is I've turned it over to AI and had them convert it into a presentation, which I'll share with you. And maybe some of these things that you might want to share with your children or consider for yourself. First, under judgment, the things that I felt were important in my life is first, if you're doing something that doesn't feel right, just down in your heart, it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Go with your gut. Also, if things sound too good to be true, they probably aren't true. Uh, there things that are easy don't necessarily work out that way. Just be aware. Big value question is dealing with cost, and the cost of an item doesn't have anything to do with the value or the quality. It's what you're going to pay for it or what you're willing to part with, to get that. And many times you'll find things that are exactly the same price or cheaper at a higher quality just by looking. And value integrity above all else. If you're with someone and they're telling stories about someone else, you can pretty much bet that they're going to be telling stories about you as well. If you got anything good to say, nothing good to say, don't say anything. People and loyalty. There are going to be a lot of people. Sometimes those people appear to be your friends, or who look to be your friends really aren't. While those who appear to be your enemies aren't either. Uh, Typically, someone who's going to scam you is going to try to be your best friend. Just be aware of that. Always question what someone's motives are. That said, with friends, fall in love with a friend. Whoever you marry and is going to spend the rest of your life, they've got to be a good friend and someone that you're going to value forever and ever. Also, family is forever. And always remember, call your mother. I usually tell people on Sundays, and since I told the other two just to call their mothers, they never called me. So I've added, call your father too. Character and kindness. A smile will take you a long way in your life. So put a smile on your face and enjoy the ride. Along that, always be kind. And there's so many people out here that will be rude and be nasty to you, but answer that with kindness. Have fun and do no harm. And anytime you're angry, stop. Don't take an action. Think about it. Walk away. Smile. Be kind. It'll take you a long way in life. As you're meeting people, talk to as many people as you can. And try to improve everything you touch and every interaction you have. What positive can you add? What can you contribute? And never stop learning. And remember the four natures of man. This goes back to the ancient philosophers and something that I talked with my children a lot as they grew up. But if you're strong in these four areas, if you have problems in one of them, the other three will make up for it. Those four areas are physical, you're taking care of your body; intellectual, taking care of your brain; social, and your intellectual are kind of fit together, but dealing with people; and then lastly, spiritual and your religious aspect. Having faith in a future and a God and in what life means. If you have strong in those four, you're going to go a long way. Things to do as you act and move through life. One of the rules I always used, if it takes less than 5 minutes, do it right now. You'll find out that way you don't get burdened down with things. Think before you react. What are the consequences of your actions? Again, this ties into never take an action when you're angry, and just think about it. Then don't take the cabin passage in life. This was written by Henry David Thoreau, which was one of my favorite authors, and I read Walden every year. And get out, do things, be in front, be the person taking the lead, and enjoy life. Now, wealth in the future, pay yourself first. And if you're going through the course that I have with my book, that's a big thing. Build the wealth. And you plan for the future, but don't dwell on the past. There's nothing you can do to change it. And you're going to remember it much worse than it ever was, or what if someone else is going to think about it. So just keep the positive attitude and plan, plan, plan. Embrace failure. That's how you learn. And you have to fail to succeed. The pro baseball players, they may fail to get on first base 70% of the time and be one of the top players in the world. Those mistakes that you learn, that you get to the big successes. There are millions of ways to be successful. Pick a few of them, and again, enjoy it. Take risks. I applied to be an astronaut. I didn't make it, but I applied. So you do things. You never know what's going to happen, and you don't know where life's going to take you, but it's probably not where you think you're heading. Enjoy the journey. Another big one that I learned later in my life is the perfect is the enemy of the good. Don't fall in this trap. Now, what does that mean? If you're considering three alternatives, three cars or whatever, don't dwell on finding which one is perfect. Find which one is good, what's good for you, how it fits, and make decisions, move forward. Don't get trapped and second guessing your decisions. Dance as often as you can. Don't be scared. Get out there. Find out what life's got to offer you. Remember, you are special and the world can be yours. So these are 26 pieces of advice. This is what I shared with Ty, and I shared with our other two children. To this day, I believe they still keep that card with them. Anyway, if there's some nuggets here that you can use, please do. And we'll move on with the next section. Thank you.